Hi, I'm Justin Boyd.
I'm Brittany Pacheco.
And I'm back in this motherfucker.
And we are the Watchers in the Basement.
Welcome to the Watchers in the Basement. We are here today to discuss the third teaser trailer for Avengers Doomsday, a movie that comes out December 18th of this year now that we're in 2026. By the way, this is our first MCU or Marvel related pod of the new year. So happy new year to everybody out there. We appreciate it if you're watching and listening to us. Yeah, thanks. But yeah, so the third teaser trailer dropped this morning. It's been in theaters for a few days. It was leaked online last week. And spoiler alert, we got a Cyclops. So let's get right to it. Want to get everybody's thoughts about the trailer. By the way, we'll be playing the trailer behind us in the background without the sound. So you can kind of get some visual aids going. But this one's a pretty cool one, Brittany. What'd you think about it?
Let's fucking go. Like, I'm so excited to finally have X-Men join the MCU properly. I mean, we've had just little tidbits here and there, but the fact that we for sure are getting my favorite, like one of my favorite superhero teams of all time, right? I am a huge fan of the 2000 X-Men from when Fox had it, right? And it's just, I'm just so excited that it's here. I love hearing the narration of Sir Ian McKellen, which was funny because I was playing the trailer earlier this morning in the office, and one of our coworkers was with me, and he goes, "Why do I hear Gandalf's voice?" I'm like, "No," I said, "It is Magneto." He goes, "Same person." I'm like, fundamentally two different people, okay? Like, let's not get that twisted, all right? Gandalf would never do the things that Magneto has done for the sake of people or the sake of mutants, right? So I am literally just so excited. And obviously the Cyclops scene, we get him in the classic comic style of the Cyclops uniform, and to see James Marsden return as Scott Summers, aka Cyclops, and just unleash. Let's fucking go. Frank, your thoughts?
First off, I didn't. I'm not even fronting when I say this. I didn't know Ian McKellen was still alive. He looked old back in 2001. I'm happy he's alive and well. I didn't know he was still alive and still drawing breath on this earth. With that being said, it's a blessing to still have him and Professor X still around because they're old as shit. So for them to come back and reprise those roles 20 years later or whatever from the first X-Men, or 24 years later from the first X-Men is a blessing. I know I use this word a lot, but it bears true here from this standpoint. Nostalgia. It was just like just hearing Magneto's voice, and just seeing, Mr. Patrick on screen again. I mean, I to be honest, after the Wolverine movie where he died in that timeline, I thought that was the last we was going to see Mr. Patrick. So to see him again in this movie along with Ian McKellen, man, I was a kid again. These last couple of years, man, X-Men have really been in the forefront of a lot of people's minds after X-Men 97 and a lot of news of them being in Doomsday. I think it just makes people excited again, re-energizes everybody, knowing that the Marvel's first team, as far as the 90s and cinematic universe, is back in a full swing. And again, yeah, like Brittany says, seeing Cyclops in this classic blue and white suit and just unleashing an optic blast. Like, even in the comic books, he very rarely does he go that unleash that level of optic blast power, because it can become unstable. So to see that in the trailer and see him just go loose, knows that probably the end days are near. So that right there just gave me just pause, but yet excitement to see what's about to go down for this movie.
Yeah, this is I think this is the best trailer so far. And a shout out to everybody in the chat. Appreciate King and Trisha joining us. As Trisha said, she said this is her favorite one. I think this is everyone's favorite one. Even like I'm not the biggest X-Men guy. I've seen all the movies. I like them fine, but the way this one was constructed, it has the most action so far. Now, granted, these are 1-minute teasers, but the ending of this one is so strong, and the writing of this one's so strong. Just like the Thor dialogue, the dialogue of this one is amazing. So I'm gonna go ahead and fire it up on our end. We'll play it in the background, and we'll describe kind of what's happening in the video. Should be showing up pretty soon. I'll let Brittany do. There we go. So it should be playing. Yeah, it's the best one, I think. You see Professor X, you see like they're in a dilapidated X mansion, and you see the sign on the ground for the for the gifted youngsters, Mr. Xavier, or the message that says it's been out front of all the movies, all the X-Men movies. It says Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters. That's the sign that's on the ground, and you see Professor X roll up in the iconic wheelchair with the X, and then he and Xavier and Magneto are playing chess, and you see one of the chess pieces levitate, and then you just get like this amazing like dialogue, which I'm going to read word for word because I think it's really well done. Shout out to Stephen McFeely, who did he obviously wrote this movie. He did all the big movies the Russos were a part of, which the Russos are also directing this movie. But the Magneto says, "Death comes for us all. It's all I know for sure. The question isn't, are you prepared to die? The question is, who would you be when you close your eyes?" Now, Frank, I want to throw to you first. What do you think that means?
It sounds like what we saw kind of X-Men 97 with the Days of Future Past, or like the end days are coming and impending doom. Very rarely do you hear Magneto talk in such a finality tone. Like he's literally one of the most powerful mutants on the planet. If he ain't top 2, he's 1. As far as just energy output and like what he can do with his powers. And for him to talk like that, it sounds like there's a pending doom that for the first time on screen it looks like that the X-Men might have low confidence of like defeating. Like it sounds like they're like, we're going down with the ship. This is the Titanic, and we're gonna go down fighting no matter what the odds are. But the odds don't look promising. And it looks like the mansion's been ransacked again. For this to be a powerful team, and the X Mansion gets ransacked very often, almost in every goddamn movie, it seems like. But to hear Magneto talk like that from a position of almost like insecurity or like a finality of like, this is it, gave me chills, because that's something I would expect Charles Xavier to say, but not Magneto, the master of magnetism, the man who is the literal walking symbolism of bravo. He just sounds tired, like he's been through it over and over and over again, and you kind of saw that in small dosages of not X-Men Last Stand, the one when Wolverine goes back in the Days of Future Past. You kind of saw that in Days of Future Past, where like they're escaping the Sentinels and Nimrod, and they're trying to win, but like they failed over and over and over and over again in this repeated timeline, and they don't know if this is going to be the one that they actually win. That's the sound that's what it sounds like, that tone that Magneto was giving me. So it whatever's going on, it looks like Doomsday is putting up work.
Yeah.
I mean, not Doomsday. I said that's the name of the movie. Doom.
Dr. Doom, yeah. And then Brittany, we see at the very end, we see Cyclops. He's wearing the classic blue and yellow suit, falls to his knees, and he takes off his visor and unleashes this like all optic blast while it looks like there's Sentinels behind him. It's a destruction. I don't know if it's happening at the mansion. I'm not sure where this is happening, but something's going down. What do you think is going to happen with these characters in Doomsday?
I really don't want to speculate what is exactly happening with the X-Men. And to Trisha's point, she did point it out here in the chat. She says, I like you can see a Sentinel briefly in the background when you see Scott go scorched earth.
Yeah.
And yeah, it does very much look like it could be a Sentinel and whatnot. But what events have transpired for the X-Men to be in this state of devastation and complete dissolution with the mansion, and for Scott to literally go nuclear and just, as Trisha has put it, go scorched earth. I couldn't even begin to tell you what events would lead to this huge moment. To piggyback a little bit off of what was discussed earlier, and we just missed it here. If you're watching on YouTube, we're playing the teaser trailer here, but there is a scene where you see on the chessboard a chess piece levitating, right? And for those who, like me, were huge X-Men movie fans from the 2000s, you'll remember that in the Last Stand, the third movie, there was like a cure to reverse or to take away the powers of mutants so that they were no longer a threat to people and what have you. And Magneto consistently has always stood against being like everyone else. He always wanted to do what was best for mutants and what have you. And this is where he and Charles Xavier fundamentally had very different schools of thought about what was best for existing in the world of humans as mutants, right? And for Magneto in the very end, he unwillingly became normal because he was injected with the antidote, whatever you call it, for to no longer have his powers. And at the very end of that movie, you see him out in the park where older people will go and play chess, and he's sitting there and he's kind of like trying to see if his powers are fully gone, not completely sure, but because he can manipulate metal, right? That was his power.
Yeah.
You kind of see just a little hint of that chess piece just kind of move ever so slightly, and then it cuts to credits, right, for X-Men Last Stand.
Yeah.
So to kind of have that nod of that chess piece levitating, and in the background you see a blurred out Magneto, I think is absolutely really, really cool, because one would assume this is obviously not the same universe, where perhaps this is the same Magneto that we saw in all those older X-Men movies, or not really sure, not entirely sure, but I think either way, it's still like a really nice callback to the older movies.
Mm-hmm.
And in reference to Justin, you asked the question, what does Magneto mean by his statement about, you know, who the question is about who you are when you close your eyes.
Yeah.
And again, these two lifelong friends, Charles Xavier and Eric Lensher, aka Magneto, fundamentally had opposing views about the philosophy of mutants and humans and what have you. But at the very end, they always come together, united, to fight for the greater good, I guess you could say, right? Even though they have different ideologies. But I think at the very end, it's going to be about what are the things that you are going to do to be remembered before you can no longer do anything anymore, right? And so I think they're probably going to have to put their differences aside and fight for the greater good.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And I think that the Sentinels we see, I think, are sent by Doom. You know, we know that Doom is a character who has control over technology, just like Tony Stark and Iron Man, but also he has the power, magical powers also. So it's a mixture of tech and powers. So I can see where maybe he is, sent the Sentinels to destroy the X-Men. Now why, I'm not exactly sure, except for maybe the multiverse, all these incursions are happening, kind of like what we saw in the post-credit scene for the Marvels, where Monica Rambeau is in this world where you have Beast, and was Professor X in that or not? I don't think he was. I can't remember, honestly. I know Beast obviously was, and I think they referenced the Professor, but I do think that's the universe, and I think it's the universe that was established in Days of Future Past when Wolverine comes back and he's like, "Oh, Scott, good to see you," because Scott had died in X-Men: The Last Stand. He was killed by Jean Grey. So I think that's the universe that we're gonna see those characters. I think they're gonna die, honestly. I mean, we do know that this is supposedly Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen's final movie. So
Wait. I heard about Patrick Stewart, this being his final role because he does plan to retire
Okay.
from acting altogether. I hadn't heard the same about Ian McKellen. Now, are you saying this is Ian McKellen's final movie as Magneto, or is he too retiring from acting?
That's a good question. It might be his final time playing Magneto, but I feel
Okay.
like I heard that both of them, this was kind of this is all, for them playing these characters and potentially acting, period. So,
I
um,
mean, they are up there in
Yeah.
age for sure. I mean, both have given so much to drama and television and movies, and rightfully so. They should rightfully enjoy their days without having to be in the spotlight. But for sure, I know Patrick Stewart had said that he will be retiring from acting after this movie.
yeah. And I think that whenever he says, it's, who are you when you close your eyes? I wonder if that's a way for them to kind of transfer their spirit to someone else, or when, when the mutant saga begins. The mutant saga will be after Secret Wars, when they're going to, do all these X-Men movies in the MCU. I wonder, like, if that's the way they'll kind of continue the characters in another person's body.
I mean, if you remember, that's kind of how what happened in Last Stand when Jean Grey killed Professor X. His body was literally destroyed, but his conscience was in the hospital, was transferred to another body. Now, how did that body, like, I guess, manifest and look like and shape shift to Professor X? Because Days of Future Past, he's back he's back as his own self again. So maybe there's a plot hole. I don't know, but I mean, we did see Professor X do that as far as phase his conscience to another body.
Yeah, I mean, it's really up in the air. I mean, the thing about this one, this is the one trailer. The first one had the Steve Rogers news. The second one was a Thor, kind of where Thor is at this point in the MCU, and then now we have this big introduction of adding these characters who have not been in the MCU, or if they have been, very briefly. I mean, I know Trisha referenced about how Professor X, he was killed in Multiverse of Madness, like everyone else from that universe, by Wanda. But we had not seen Ian McKellen in these movies yet, and we had not seen James Marsden. Although I thought we were going to see him in Deadpool Wolverine, but that did not happen. So, it's exciting to see these characters, be a part of this franchise, and to be a part of what, looks like it's going to be the biggest Marvel crossover event ever. Until Secret Wars a year later, before it gets topped by 12 months later with another movie. So, Brittany, you want to go to the chat? There's some questions there we can get to.
Yeah, for sure. Appreciate once again to those who are taking time to join us in today's live stream. We always enjoy having y'all ask questions and leave your comments here. So shout out to Trisha, King B. Johnson, and then we've got Hunter here who is joining us. Says that they've seen Wicked Part 2 for the 9th time. So
wow,
you have been changed for good. That's for damn sure. But Hunter asked the question, do you think there's a chance Tobey and Andrew return for Secret Wars? So we're referring to Tobey Maguire and or Andrew Garfield, who plays Spider-Man respectively. Do we think they're going to return for Secret Wars?
Frank, you want to take this one?
I don't know about Secret Wars, but I think they'll be in Doomsday. I think all the incursions are happening. I think we'll see just a cameo of different characters from the last 30 years of the big screen. They might not be credited, but I think we'll see like just a cascade of just different characters trying to fight whatever's going on their timeline. I think for Secret Wars, I think it would just be Tom Holland Spider-Man. That's my guess. I don't know. We'll see multiple versions. There's been rumors that a Miles Morales sighting might happen on the big screen too. So for Secret Wars, I don't know, but I think Doomsday, I think we'll see a bunch of different Spider-Men.
Yeah, as far as like where we're going to see these characters, I'm not really sure. I do think that we will see Tobey Maguire. I'm not as sure about Andrew Garfield, although I hope we do. I think we definitely will see Tobey at some point, just because I think they're going to want to put Tobey next to Downey, next to Wolverine, next to Hugh Jackman, because those are kind of their, they're like multiverse of movie characters who have kind of, ushered Marvel Studios into the box office and then, on the big screen. So I think we will see those characters. As far as Andrew Garfield, I'm not really sure where we're going to see him. I hope we do, but I don't really know where he'll slot in, except for if he's just helping out because his universe is coming to an end also.
And I offer nothing because I don't know. Also, low key, I don't particularly care for Spider-Man, so
Yeah.
no disrespect to these actors. They play the role extremely well in their universes, but I'm just not that Spider-Man fan.
Yeah.
Sorry. But Hunter
Understood.
follows up the question with, what are the chances Wolverine appears in Secret Wars?
I
Likely?
would say very good. Yeah.
Likely?
Yeah, probably going to be in this movie at the very end also, I would just say.
I would think so too. Hopefully. I know, Trisha, I'm sorry. The disrespect is real. I'm very, very sorry. Bad me. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
Frank, your thoughts on Wolverine appearing in Secret Wars, as well as maybe the end of Doomsday?
Yeah, I think so. I think he will play a major part in both movies. I mean, his star power is just it's undeniable. I mean, I can't imagine the Russo brothers not having him in both movies. Same with Ryan Reynolds. I mean, I've seen leaks of them, or not leaks, but like them talking about them on set. Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. So
Yeah.
I think they'll be in both movies. Their star power is just too big. I mean, if there's a solar system of the grand stars of the MCU, if Robert Downey's his son, then Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds are Venus and Mars. They're just part of that major, star, just stars, man, that can't miss box office guys. So
Yeah.
I mean, and let's not forget, Hugh Jackman's going to play Wolverine until he's 90. So also, Trisha says, Black, I don't get the Deadpool hype. The disrespect, Trisha. Just kidding.
Yeah, Deadpool Wolverine did very well. It was a big hit last in 2024. So we will see these characters again. I'm just not sure where, but I feel like they're going to be in both movies. And I'd heard a rumor that we're going to get 4 more teaser trailers. So like I said, this is the third one. Next week, the fourth one, which Frank shared with us earlier in our chat, that looks like
Oh,
it's
I haven't
leaked.
seen that one yet.
Yeah, that one's leaked, and I think that is real, and it features some of the Fantastic Four and some of like Black Panther and Namor and those characters. So that's the one.
Sorry.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next week whenever we get the full HD version released by Marvel Studios. But apparently there might be a round of another 4 of those that is going to be released, and I've heard that there will be a Deadpool and Wolverine one for this movie, just like a 1-minute one about those characters. So we shall see. I've also heard that, Super Bowl is coming up February 8th, and the full trailer will be the date where we'll see. That's when we'll see the full trailer for Avengers Doomsday. I guess that'll be also the first time we'll see Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom, because we still have not seen him.
Bet. Yes. So excited.
So lots of stuff coming. Frank, anything else you want to say about this trailer?
Man, bring on the team, man. Watching that trailer just brought so much excitement, but I also wonder, we know James Marsden is reprising his role as well. I know Rebecca Romaine is back as well. Last time we saw Jean Grey was dead. She died in the Last Stand. Is she coming back? We know Nightcrawler's back. Is Colossus coming back? Is Iceman coming back? I wonder how many of the X-Men members are actually coming back from those movies.
I'm curious too about a Jean Grey coming back, because I read an article that Famke, who played Jean Grey in the original movies, had mentioned she was not really interested in reprising that role. She's just kind of like, that was something from so many years ago. We've moved on, blah blah blah. But then again, we've also know from actors who misdirect, right? So I don't know. I personally loved her as Jean Grey. I think she brought so much to that character. I love the look and I loved the performance, of course. But I don't know. But to Trisha's point here, she's like, "Give us Storm, yes, give us Storm." I'm love.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Halle Berry's coming back or if it's going to be a younger version, or I'm not sure. Like a lot of those characters are still up in the air. I assume that we're going to see all of them at some point, but we only know the ones that were released on the backs of the chairs back in was that April or May or whatever that was.
9 months ago.
Yeah, and they were not there. Several of those characters Frank mentioned were not listed, but you kind of think that they're going to be there in some way, or I'm sure in the storyline they will have died before or something. That's what I can see happening as a way to like not have 1 billion people on this movie. So, um, I know Frank, you got to drop off. I've just got one more thing, but appreciate you joining us for this trailer talk. And any final words before you get out of here?
Let's fucking go.
There we go.
Let's get it.
Frank's like, "Come to me, X-Men."
That'll be good.
Yeah, thanks, Frank. Brittany, there's a couple more questions in the chat. I think you want to hit those.
Yeah. So earlier, Hunter had asked if any of us thought if Red Hulk would show up in Secret Wars, or is that highly unlikely?
I don't think so. I saw recently something where Harrison Ford said he was one and done with the MCU. So, I mean, Red Hulk might return, but he'll be played by someone else. It won't be Indiana Jones. He's going to move on. So,
I respect that.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, because
I respect that.
Brave New World did not do as well as they hoped, or all of us were, kind of expected it to be a bigger hit than it was. I mean, really, all the movies that came out in 2025 all were underperformers. I mean, Thunderbolts underperformed the worst, and then Fantastic Four didn't light the world on fire either. Although I thought it was a pretty decent movie.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. There's just so many characters that could be incorporated into this movie, and the thing is, finding that happy medium between giving the people what they want and then not over stimulating people with so many characters and so many, let's say, storylines and things of that nature. It's going to be hard to give, I feel, everyone ample screen time, because these are not just like D-grade actors who don't do a good job. These are like elite actors, and elite because of the different franchises that they have been a part of. So I'm nervous. I'm excited. This trailer alone with the X-Men really got me so excited. But I feel like because of what the last couple of years have been with this past phase with the multiverse, it's really struggled. And we kept saying, in Marvel we trust, and Kevin Feige we trust, they're going to figure things out. And yes, things happened that were out of their control, that they had to pivot. And I feel like they did the best they could. Could it have been better? Sure, naturally. But I feel like this is kind of like a reset with just bringing back all the fan favorites.
I mean, the thing is like they're struggling for them. They're not struggling for other studios. Like the reason why this is like, they're in a slump is because, until the Marvels, they had made money on every film they made. So it was just hit after hit after hit. Now they've had some misses. They've also had some big hits. I mean, the multiverse saga has given us Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, and Deadpool.
I enjoyed.
All three of those movies were massive hits.
Yep.
I mean, Multiverse of Madness just narrowly missed making $1 billion. So the other two well over $1 billion. Hell, Spider-Man No Way Home almost made $2 billion. So they've had some big hits, and they've had some critical. I mean, Thunderbolts, I think, is one of the better movies they've made in a long time. It did not do well at the box office, but I think critically it was well received, and I really enjoyed it. So
Yeah.
They haven't just like fallen flat on their face, but this is a big movie. Doomsday is a very big movie for them, and they're gonna, pull out all the big guns. That's why Downey's back. That's why Chris Evans is back, and they've come up with a story to tell and make it a sequel from Endgame. And I can't wait. We're
Yep.
going to continue to be talking about this movie for the next 11 months and 11 days or whatever the countdown is. And I love
90 years.
yeah, I love the tick-tock, the clock, the doomsday clock that counts down to the film. Honestly, I wouldn't be opposed to them doing one a week for the whole year. And honestly, they probably could because
They have enough actors, they certainly could.
there's so many characters. They're just making these like 1-minute little teaser things that are probably just going to be parts of scenes in the movie. That's kind of my thought on this stuff is it's all
Mhm.
just going to be scenes in the movie that they're just kind of, drip drab releasing. So,
Yeah, but like most studios these days, they give away too much in the trailer, and I'm just hoping with Marvel, even at the teaser trailer level,
Yeah.
that they don't show the best
Well,
of the movie, but
yeah.
hopefully the Russo brothers are gonna be very methodical and analytical about everything that they're
Well,
doing. I mean, but to give us this huge scene, right over here on our shoulders of Scott just letting loose, it's it's awesome.
yeah. I mean, if you go back to the last 2 Avengers movies, which were made by the Russo brothers also, and I've watched those trailers many times, Infinity War and Endgame, they didn't really give away anything. And think about Endgame where you had, more than half of the characters off the board from what happened in Infinity War. And they had these multiple trailers and they didn't really give away like how they were going to bring people back, if they were going to bring people back. So they know what they're doing. And I mean, we still haven't seen we haven't seen Doom period. Besides, we saw the back of him in Fantastic Four in the teaser in the post credit scene for Fantastic Four. So, who knows when we're going to see his face, if we're going to see his face at all until the movie. But
Yeah.
I do think that they're going to have to show him in some form if they do have a Super Bowl trailer, which I expect they will. Um, that'll be huge for the general audience to be like, oh shit, Robert Downey Jr. is playing a bad guy this time. Like,
I feel like it's gonna be one of the last scenes, right? Where it's gonna
oh
kind
yeah,
of almost be like a hero shot,
yeah,
and then either you'll see him in the mask and either he'll go and like take it off, or you know what I'm saying? Or
yeah,
you have to have like RDJ's face
right,
be the last scene, and then it cuts away
yeah,
to the logo with the date or something, something like that. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
it's got to be like a real quick. I snapped, like unintentionally meant to snap.
yeah,
I am Iron Man. No, I'm not. I'm Dr. Victor Von Doom. But yeah, like I feel like that's going to be the shot.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't even show his face in the trailer. If they just kind of show maybe Doctor Doom removing his mask and then the trailer ends.
Oh, yeah, that might be
Yeah,
good. Yeah, because Trisha here, she says, I hope they don't show his face until the movie. I would love that saved for the movie. I feel
I
like
would
you
too.
gotta get a little bit. Like
Yeah,
you have to
yeah,
show his face in order to really sell the fact that RDJ is back. That's what the people wanted.
yeah.
You gotta give him a little
It
bit,
it
or,
yeah,
or like if it's half the face and you just see like the mouth or something. You know what I mean? Like you have to give
yeah,
something.
something. Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a delicate balancing act, and I think honestly, probably right now they're still trying to figure that out. I bet every day Kevin Feige and the Russo brothers are on like an email chain where they're like, or a text chain where like, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about this idea? Like, because this is, if there is a Super Bowl trailer, it'll be a big deal. And I think you do have to have some kind of RDJ as Doom in some form, or maybe you don't show his face, but one of the characters that we know sees him and goes Tony, or something like that. Like that would be, yeah, that would be pretty cool. So, like
That'd
maybe
be
Doom goes to Steve Rogers' house and knocks
Oh
on
my
the
god,
door,
yes.
and we see Steve say Tony, and then it ends, and then
Uh
dun, 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 we hear the Alan Silvestri music. I don't know.
oh,
Got a lot of
that'd be
ideas.
cool.
Can't wait for this. We'll be talking about this movie all year long, as we have
Oh
been
yeah.
for the past 3 weeks. There'll be much more about Doomsday. We have a lot for Marvel planned. And Brittany, as we get out of here, my final thing is I want to talk about their slate really quickly because
Okay.
it's a little bit different this year than it's been in years past. So the first thing that we have coming up as far as a show or a movie dropping is Wonder Man drops on January 27th on Disney Plus. All 8 episodes are dropping. So we'll do a one and done season review of that at some point early February. But that's going to be the show that stars Yahya Abdul Mateen II. He will be playing the title character or the main character Simon Williams, who will be Wonder Man. They've released a lot of trailers last couple months. The most recent one, Brittany, I don't know if you saw it yet, but it really makes the show look more interesting than I expected, where it's basically a deal where he's an actor, but he has superpowers. And apparently Hollywood has banned people with superpowers. So he's trying to hide the fact that he has powers, but he's auditioning for this role of this character that he grew up watching with his dad in the movie theater. So, it looks interesting. I think it's going to be kind of comedic, but I'm looking forward to it. And, so that'll be the first thing up. You have any thoughts on Wonder Man?
None whatsoever, because I have
Yep.
no knowledge of who Wonder Man is or any lore behind him. And yeah, I told y'all I'm at this point where it's like I had zero expectations or trying to have zero expectations going into these new projects. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to talk about it. Trisha asked, "Did you see that Ben Kingsley is in it?"
Of course. Yeah.
Yes.
Trevor
Bring back
Slattery's
Trevor
back.
Slattery.
Yeah, he's back. He'll be a part of it. Yeah, we'll definitely
Trevor?
be talking about
Trevor
that. That's a good impression. Good job.
Thank you.
So next up is in March, we will get Daredevil Born Again season 2. So I know we were kind of disappointed by season 1.
Damn.
I think season 2 has to be better. So anyway, that's coming in March. We'll be talking about that in March. Any thoughts, Brittany?
This is the one exception. I'm gonna put my foot in my mouth and say, I normally don't have expectations, and I had such high expectations with Daredevil Born Again, and it wasn't quite season 8 Game of Thrones level, but it was tough, y'all. It was tough.
I think it was worse than Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay. Okay, fun. Okay, that's too much. That's too much.
Yeah.
Way too much. But for me, because I obviously love the Netflix version of Daredevil, that's what I wanted. I wanted that grunge, that really grounded look and just that appeal of the character, and sadly just did not get it. It was very differently paced. It looked like a Disney project, which was really, really disheartening. Although that one scene, that one kill scene from Wilson Fisk surprised the mess out of me. No pun intended. But supposedly the new season is going to be even darker. It's going to be even more. I don't know. I want to believe, but at the same time, I'm very hesitant. So I am walking into Daredevil with some expectations still. But they're kind of low. But I hope this season 2 will be a lot better than season 1. I'm looking forward to the new suit. The new suit looks amazing because Charlie Cox has obviously posted about it. So
yeah.
But we shall see. We shall see.
Yeah, and so Doomsday is not the only movie that's coming out in 2026. Marvel also has Spider-Man Brand New Day on July 31st. We have still not seen a trailer that has legally been released or dropped online for that movie, and we're still waiting for that. So once we get that, we will definitely do a pod about that trailer. We're not sure when that's going to drop, but that's going to be a fun one. And the next thing kind of coincides with that, because we know the Punisher is going to be in Spider-Man Brand New Day, but the Punisher is also getting a special presentation for the character in the summer. There's no date given. They just say summer 2026. So we'll see Punisher. John Bernthal, I believe, is the co-writer of this special presentation. So interested to see when that comes out. Maybe it comes out before Brand New Day. I'm not sure. Again, there's no dates. They just kind of said summer. So we'll see about that. So we got Punisher, double dose of Punisher this summer, potentially. That could be cool. Yeah. Then also in the summer at some point, X-Men 97 season 2 will drop, which is very exciting.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's exciting.
We're looking forward to
Although
that. Yep.
I'm trying to remember, was Bo DeMaio still affiliated with this new
No.
season? No, it was the last
It's
season. That was
yeah.
his last
Right.
season.
I think he might have had some ideas for season 2, but I don't know if they're going to use his stuff
Okay, I couldn't
given
remember.
what happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the next thing up, and again, we're not sure when this is going to drop, but a Vision Quest is supposedly coming in 2026. That is the third and final show in this trilogy that began with WandaVision, that continued with Agatha all along, that will end with Vision Quest, with Vision's story. I'm looking forward to it. There was a trailer for it that I think was at New York Comic Con. It only aired at the con, and it has not leaked online to my knowledge, but I've heard good things about it. So looking forward to that show. I wouldn't be surprised if the show doesn't come out until 2027 though, because we were told last year that Wonder Man was going to come out in November or December of 2025. That did not happen. And so don't be surprised if Vision Quest gets kicked to 2027, because I don't know that it has anything to do with what happens in Doomsday. Just my guess. So
Could it be the return of the Scarlet Witch though?
it could be. It definitely could be. That's
okay.
True. Also, at some point in 2026, we're going to get Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man season 2, which I talked about season 1 back when it dropped, and I really enjoyed the show. We'll see if I can get some other people in the pod to join me watching season 2, and we'll discuss it. But really good show. It doesn't really have anything to do with the MCU. It's kind of MCU adjacent. There are moments that parallel the MCU, but it's different characters instead of like I'm not going to spoil it, but obviously in the MCU, Spider-Man's mentor is Tony Stark. Well, Tony Stark is not his mentor in Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. It's another character. So yeah, but equally fun, good stuff. I enjoyed it. Looking forward to season 2.
Nice.
And again, Doomsday closes out the year December 18th. Can't wait for that. We'll be talking about that the rest of the year, no doubt about that. But I have an asterisk by the next thing, because this is kind of a weird one. Spider Noir is coming out on MGM Plus, which I don't have that. I think it's also going to air on Amazon Prime Video. Nicolas Cage in a live action noir version of the character that he voiced in the Spider-Verse series is the star of this. So Nicolas Cage is back. It is about an aging, down on his luck private investigator grappling with his past life as the only superhero in 1930s New York City. So interesting. I know, Brittany, you haven't watched the Spider-Verse movies, so you don't really know what I'm talking about, but yeah, Spider-Man Noir, he's in the first one, he's not in the second Spider-Verse movie. So
I don't know what to think of this either. So Nicolas Cage, I feel like I have a love-hate relationship with Nicolas Cage. There are movies that I do really like him in, and then there's some other ones where it's just like, So for example, Ghost Rider, right? So that is a Marvel property. But I also heard rumors that supposedly Nicolas Cage is going to reprise his role as Ghost Rider for the upcoming, either it's Doomsday or Secret Wars. I can't remember.
Yeah.
If any of it is true, first and foremost, it'd be kind of funny to see the same actor portray two different characters from the Marvel universe.
Yeah. I should point out, I didn't say this, I forgot that. So the Spider Noir show is not an MCU show. It is a part of the Sony. Yeah. It's a part of the Sony Spider-Man universe that doesn't have Spider-Man. Although Spider-Man Noir is a Spider-Man. He's just, from a different
right.
time.
No, I know, but point still stands. Spider-Man is still a Marvel property, regardless of being owned by a completely different studio. It's just interesting that you have one actor portraying two different characters from ultimately the same universe. So,
and if he does return as Ghost Rider in either Doomsday or Secret Wars, I hope it's a surprise. I think we have enough characters that we know are going to be in the movie that we don't need for other people to be spoiled. Like just let us have the surprises. I mean, I'll be very surprised if this movie doesn't get spoiled for me, because there's just so much information that's out there and all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Not all of it's true, because we were told that there was going to be a Doom teaser trailer that was going to be the third one, and we're talking about the third one right now, and it's the X-Men. So that wasn't true.
Right.
But a lot of this stuff is true. So
Mhm.
I'm just hoping no one gets a hold of the movie before I can see it. Hopefully I can see this movie as soon as I possibly can.
So I need everyone out in the Watchers universe to help me remind Justin and encourage him to stay off social media when all of these things are dropping and getting closer to premiere date,
Yeah, but
because for some reason he finds
no,
not meaning to, but it finds him and then he gets upset.
it's the algorithm. It's the stuff that I look for all the time.
Understood, but I
Yeah,
need you to go on a cleanse, a social media cleanse, like the month of these premieres, and just
Yeah.
stay away.
See, I can't do
Stay
that.
away.
I can't do that. I mean, I can't.
I'm
We're
gonna
gonna do
need
the
you to.
pod. I gotta keep up for the pod. So
Then I need you to quit griping when you see spoilers. You can't have it both.
just don't spoil stuff, people. Like let's let everyone
They're
enjoy
going to
it.
spoil.
I know.
Lord. Also, AI getting really ridiculous at this point. Like, just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, definitely.
All these supposed teaser trailers that are very much AI. It's just that I need y'all to stop.
Yeah.
AI is going to be the end of us.
The one for next week, which again we'll talk about next week when it officially drops. The version I saw today looks very real, and I've heard it described the same way. So I think that one, if you're watching the leak right now of the Fantastic Four and the Wakandans teaser trailer for Doomsday, that one is real. I think
I'm going to watch that after we are done with this
Yeah.
pod.
we will. We'll discuss it next week though, for real. So,
Yeah.
Brittany, anything else before we get out of here?
No, I'm just very excited that once again we're getting the X-Men officially into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's no longer just little post credits and credit little cameo type situations. This is the real deal, y'all. I'm so excited. I hope y'all are excited as well. And we'll return for all of our upcoming podcasts leading up to Avengers Doomsday. Justin has also talked about doing some anniversary pods of like the Avengers, Captain America, Thor, because they're celebrating their 10, 15 years respectively. So yeah, I'm super excited to talk all things Marvel and getting a chance to engage once again with all of those who take the time to hang out with us, like Trisha, Hunter, Travis was up here earlier, said what's up.
Yep.
So thank you so much for being here, as well as King B Johnson. So thank you all once again. Be sure to Yes, I just said Hunter.
Okay.
Be sure to join us for future pods. I'm just going to go into the little spiel, Justin, for everything. So if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and hit that notification bell. That way you know the next time we go live. That is essential. You can also follow all of our social media in the links in the description box down below. And then check out our audio podcasts available to you on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Give us a follow. Give us a 5-star rating as well.
Thank you, Brittany. I appreciate it. So for Brittany and for Frank, who joined us earlier, I'm Justin saying thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We will see you next time. Have a good night. Bye-bye.